Toxic boss? Here's how to handle them like a pro. Brought to you by Lux von Zollern, the maker of exclusive garments for successful women, available at the website www.lvzprestige.com. Think Lux von Zollern when you wish to amplify your executive impact in high-stakes business environments. The toxic boss. A creature of chaos, micromanagement, and last-minute demands. If you've got one, you probably feel like you're starring in your own workplace reality show, Survivor, Office Edition. But fear not, dealing with a toxic boss isn't just about surviving their antics, it's about thriving in spite of them. Diagnose the toxicity. First things first, not all toxic bosses are created equal. Identifying the type of boss you're dealing with is critical to forming a game plan. Here are the most common species of workplace tyrants. The micromanager. This one hovers over your every move, convinced you can't be trusted to send an email without a 4-step approval process. The ghost. MIA when you need them, but suddenly reappearing with impossible deadlines and zero context. The credit stealer. Takes your hard work, slaps their name on it, and presents it as their brilliant idea. Bonus points if they do it in front of senior leadership. The screamer. Thinks shouting is an acceptable form of communication. Spoiler alert, it's not. The manipulator. Plays favorites, spreads gossip, and pits team members against one another like a puppet master with an evil grin. Once you've categorized their particular brand of toxicity, you can tailor your approach. Think of this as Workplace Strategy 101. Know your opponent. Build a shield of emotional armor. Toxic bosses thrive on drama, and if you let them get under your skin, they've already won. The first rule of dealing with one is to create an emotional shield that deflects their nonsense. Picture yourself as Wonder Woman with her bracelets of submission. Every negative comment bounces right off. When your boss criticizes you unfairly, don't internalize it. Instead, repeat this mantra. This is not about me. This is about them. Because 99% of the time, their behavior says more about their insecurities than your abilities. If they're prone to outbursts, resist the urge to fire back in the moment. Take a deep breath, stay calm, and let them run out of steam. They're expecting a reaction, and denying them that satisfaction puts you in control. Master the art of documentation. Documentation is your new best friend. If your toxic boss has a habit of forgetting conversations or twisting facts, you need a paper trail. Think of it as building your own personal insurance policy. Start by summarizing key discussions and follow-up emails. For example, "Hi boss, just to recap our meeting today, you'd like the report completed by Thursday at noon, focusing on X, Y, and Z. Let me know if I missed anything." Not only does this clarify expectations, but it also holds them accountable. If they try to pull a fast one later, you've got receipts. Bonus, it makes you look organized and professional. Set boundaries, even if it's subtle. Toxic bosses love to test boundaries. Whether it's 11 p.m. emails or unreasonable requests, their favorite game is seeing how far they can push you. But you're not playing. Set limits with tact and professionalism. For instance, if they dump last-minute work on you, say something like, "I'm happy to help. Just to clarify, if I take on this task, other project will be delayed. Which should I prioritize?" This approach makes them reconsider their demands without outright saying no. It also shows you're managing your workload thoughtfully. Find allies in the chaos. A toxic boss might be in charge, but they're not the only person in the office. Build relationships with colleagues who understand your challenges and can provide support. Venting about your boss over lunch can be therapeutic, but more importantly, allies can help you strategize and navigate tricky situations. Pro tip, strengthen relationships with higher-ups or cross-departmental contacts. Expanding your network not only provides a buffer from you are boss, but also positions you as a connected and resourceful professional. Play the long game. Dealing with a toxic boss requires patience and strategic thinking. While you're working under them, focus on learning everything you can. Yes, even from bad leaders, there are lessons to be learned. For instance, how not to communicate effectively, the importance of empathy and leadership, why treating your team with respect is non-negotiable. Meanwhile, position yourself for the next step in your career. Keep your resume updated, build your skills, and look for opportunities to shine. Toxic bosses often burn themselves out or lose credibility, so when the time comes, you'll be ready to step into the spotlight. A toxic boss might make your work life feel like an uphill battle, but remember, every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. By staying calm, strategic, and one step ahead, you can not only survive but thrive. Manage upward like a Jedi Master. Toxic bosses may be difficult, but they still want to feel competent and in control. The secret to managing them? Make their life easier while subtly making your own better. Start by understanding what makes them tick. Do they love detailed reports? Give them detailed reports. Do they live for praise? Toss them a compliment here and there, but don't overdo it. Nobody likes a sycophant. By anticipating their needs, you'll not only reduce the likelihood of last-minute chaos, but also position yourself as their go-to problem solver. Here's the kicker. When you help them shine, you shine too. Every time you make their life smoother, you're proving you're indispensable. Just make sure your contributions are visible to others. Remember, you're not working under a toxic boss to disappear. You're here to thrive despite them. Control the narrative. In a cutthroat environment, perception is everything. A toxic boss might try to spin stories about you to shift blame or cover their own shortcomings. Don't let them. Instead, take control of the narrative. When you complete a big project or achieve a milestone, share your accomplishments tactfully. For example, I wanted to thank everyone who contributed to Project X. It was a challenging task, but I'm proud of the work we put into making it successful. This ensures your hard work is recognized by others, not just your boss. It also subtly reminds your boss that you're not an easy scapegoat. Your contributions are well documented and visible. Cultivate resilience like a pro. Let's be honest, dealing with a toxic boss can take a toll. That's why resilience is your secret weapon. Think of it as emotional weightlifting. The more you flex your resilience muscle, the stronger you'll get. One way to build resilience is to reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. Yes, your boss is unreasonable, but navigating their chaos is sharpening your conflict resolution, time management, and diplomacy skills. It's like a free, albeit unpleasant, MBA in workplace survival. And don't forget humor, it's a fantastic stress reliever. The next time your boss sends a cryptic 2 a.m. email, instead of spiraling, think, "Oh, how thoughtful of them to keep me on my toes at all hours." Sometimes, laughter really is the best defense. Know when to escalate. There's a fine line between a tough boss and a toxic one. If your boss's behavior crosses into harassment, discrimination, or unethical territory, it's time to escalate. But do so wisely. First, gather evidence. Remember all that documentation you've been keeping? Now's the time to use it. Create a clear timeline of incidents, complete with dates, times, and specifics. Then, approach HR or a trusted senior leader with a calm, factual account of the situation. When escalating, focus on the impact of their behavior on the team or company, not just on you. For example, I've noticed a pattern of behavior that's affecting team morale and productivity. I'd like to share some examples to discuss potential solutions. This approach positions you as a team player who's looking out for the greater good, not just airing personal grievances. Plan your exit strategy. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, the toxicity becomes too much. If you've hit that point, it's time to start planning your escape, not as a defeat, but as a strategic move toward a healthier work environment. Update your resume, polish your LinkedIn profile, and start networking. Leverage your allies inside and outside the company to uncover new opportunities. And don't be afraid to negotiate a graceful exit. If you've been documenting your boss's behavior, you may have leverage for a favorable severance package. Remember, leaving a toxic workplace isn't quitting, it's choosing yourself. And that's the most powerful move you can make. Rewrite the ending. Dealing with a toxic boss is never easy, but it's a chapter in your career, not the whole story. Use this experience as fuel for your growth. Think about it. If you can handle this chaos, imagine how unstoppable you'll be in a supportive environment. And when you land that next role, Take the lessons you've learned with you. Be the leader who inspires rather than intimidates. Set the standard for how employees should be treated. In short, rewrite the narrative, not just for yourself, but for others who look up to you. A toxic boss may feel like the final boss battle in a video game, but here's the secret. You hold the controller. With strategy, resilience, and a bit of humor, you can navigate their antics while staying focused on your goals. Whether you outmaneuver them or outgrow them, the power is yours. So go ahead, rise above, and show everyone, including that boss, just how unstoppable you are. Brought to you by Lux von Zollern, the maker of exclusive garments for successful women, available at the website www.lvzprestige.com. Think Lux von Zollern when you wish to amplify your executive impact in high-stakes business environments.